sure what happened there.
All three of them together.
While they had to drop right to the back. Jimbo there in as well, and Ulisana. So it's G&H Transport starting from the back of the pack, right behind every other car in the field as they head towards turn 1. Out of turn 1, looks like it's going to be Jonathan Toit looking for an opportunity to just squeeze out the 2 AMGs behind him. I think Charl Arangies has already got
we're going to go
inside. Oh, there's a touch there. The 2 teammates coming together. So Charl Arangies giving a little nudge on the back end of Jonathan Toit's
Oh, they're still touching all the way
side
through
by
3.
side through turn 3. Great onboard shot there from Maurice Jackson, showing the 2 AMGs locked together as they go into turn 4 now. They've backed off slightly there. Good idea.
Yeah, Charl Arangies forcing the issue there, but to get past Damian Hammond. Damian Hammond not letting the space go. He wanted to go all the way around the outside of Arangies like he did to Toy, but Arangies making sure that he could show Damian how aggressive he was being on the inside there, and just unsettling Damian on the brakes into 4. Damian decided just to pull out of that car. Hill under big pressure from Maurice Jackson. The 2 Loudies added hammer on tongs. Damian Hammond getting
we're on board with Hammond.
This
This is going to be awesome. On board with Damian Hammond down into turn 8, looking for a way to get through and possibly squeeze past, but not close enough yet to have a go at Charl Arangies. Arangies has opened up a little bit of breathing room. So has the Toy. And there comes Jackson. Inside of turn 1 around. Oh, that's brilliant. Makes it stick into 4th place there for Action Jackson, getting through on Cara Hill. And right behind them is Anthony Blunden. Ant Blunden is right there looking to pounce on one of those Audis if there's a mistake out of any one of them. And slowly but surely keep an eye on the background as well for that logistics machine of Gianni Giannacora trying to close down and make it a 3-way Audi battle with Ant Blunden in the Lambo.
Yeah, we saw the Laudi of Gianni up in the front. He was in 4th place in race number 1. He's definitely got the pace to run ahead of these 4 or ahead of these 3. So he's going to be carving his way up through the field after a poor start in race 2, a poor starting position. But the battle in the front, it was Damian Hammond who was leading it out ahead of Charl Arangies and Jonathan Toit in race 1. And this time he is at the back of this trio of GT3s. Jonathan Toit leading it out from Charl Arangies. Charl Arangies with a decent turn of pace in race number 2. He was aggressive on lap 1 to get past Damian. Damian kind of had to back off a little bit, resettle himself, reanalyze where he is in race number 2, and build himself back up again, get back into a good rhythm and get onto the backpack or the back end of his the other Mercedes-AMG GT3 Evo from Stradale Motorsport, though, and that is the GT3 of Charl Arangies. But Jonathan Toit able to turn a 1 minute point 5. We saw 1 minute point 2s out of Damian Hammond in race 1. Let's see as the race progresses if he can get himself back onto that pace.
All 3 of the top 3 cars, though, are already into that 60-second bracket around here. Maurice Jackson just out of it on a 61, so 1019. Cara Hill on a 103, so it's basically the battle for the top 3 that are starting slowly but surely to open up.
Gianni Giannacora
slowly but surely closing through, getting past on his teammate there, and Blunden out of the G&H Transport Racing stable. Blunden in the second of the Ravenol Lamborghinis, the current leading one at the moment, but Ricky Giannacora is not too far behind him. This is Jackson's cockpit point of view. Not too shabby there from him. Smooth sailing. Banging down the box there on the paddle shift and turning into turn 2, Cashel Corner.
It always amazes me how quickly they're able to shift down through the gearbox in a car like this on turn in into turn number 2. So all the electronics and aids helping that gearbox go down through the gears. I think he went down 4 or 5 gears there into turn number 2 and able to do that without locking the rear wheels and allowing him to rotate that car through 2, get on the power early and get it out. But Gianni Giannacora, he is putting in a proper turn of pace. 102.4 was his previous lap. Let's see what he can do on this lap. Cara Hill able just to eke out 2/10 a lap ago, but bearing in mind, Giannacora had to make a pass on that lap. So let's see what kind of pace he does have now that he's cleared the Super Trofeo of Anthony Blunden.
And you can see Ricky Giannacora also getting through there on Blunden now as well. So Blunden dropping to the back of the pack in the battle between the G&H Transport Racing category machines. And those 3 cars being Gianni, Ricky, and now Blunden. 101's coming out of Damian Hammond, so he's dropped back slightly. I don't think Hammond is going to have the same kind of pace here in race number 2 that he had in race number 1. Maybe a change up in track conditions. Maybe they went with slightly different tyre options. Tyre pressures could have changed up slightly. A 1 minute flat there out of Gianni Giannacora, doing exactly what he should be doing. Gianni, of course, able to run in the 1 minute flats in race 1, and he's closing down on Hill and on Jackson. So a 3-way fight between the Audis and for 5th place on track imminent. In fact, 4th place on track, imminent.
Yeah, currently lapping almost 6 tenths quicker than the two in front of him. So we will expect Gianni to be on the back of them very, very soon. On board one of those drivers is Marius Jackson, Action Jackson. We get to see the hard work being put into that steering wheel by him throughout this Zwartkops International Raceway.
I do love the fact that we can see from the inside of the cockpit as well as from the front-facing camera that camera option gives us. Pulling away slightly now from Cara. Cara being caught rapidly by Gianni. GG will be pushing hard. He knows that he lost out a huge amount of ground there, having to start from the back of the pack. I'm not quite sure why they started from the back of the pack, but anyway, we didn't get that information.
I think that might have been a second lap from quali.
They broke out at times, that's what it was. So that's why they had to start from the back. Getting that in my ear, thank you.
So breaking out, going under the 101s is probably why that Class A Audi, and he's just done it again.
He's just done it again. 101
so race
is the
3,
breakout.
we'll see him at the back.
Yeah, 101 is the breakout time there, and Gianni's gone down into 1 minute flat. Here we go. Close up at the front end.
Jonathan Toit and Charl Arangies right on top of each other now with 7 laps left to go. Damian Hammond made a couple of mistakes a few laps ago, and he lost over a second on the gap to Jonathan Toit. 1.6 off Charl Arangies at the moment, so he's kind of fallen out of this fight unless Charl Arangies starts making more mistakes like that while chasing down Jonathan Toit. They may be teammates, but I don't think there will be team orders here.
Was that a mistake though? Because it didn't slow him down. He put
excessive
2 wheels on the
use
curve.
of track limits.
Yeah, excessive use of track limits, and might get a track limits warning have we had Freddie Spencer here, but I don't think Freddie Spencer's going to be worrying too much about that one. But right now, it didn't really slow him up. Damian Hammond hanging on for 3rd place here. It's the first time we've seen the Porsche actually of Roy Aubrey out on track. Good to see that one. The man from Haval Edenvale doing a superb job there in his 911. One of the many derivatives of the 911 Porsche that are racing around the world.
911.2.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken...
second in Class B.
Yes, second in Class B, I was going to say. Second in Class B behind Blunden. Blunden leads out at the moment, so nice run there from him. Jackson continuing on his merry way here, up into turn 5 and 6. And expecting to see any second now on the right-hand side. Possibilities of that yellow G&H Transport and Bisc Logistics car of Gianni Giannacora, maybe squeezing him through and moving up. So here we go into the closing stages.
5 laps left to go.
Is Arangies going to have a go here? These are stable mates. They're both out of Stradale Racing, but of course a combination and a collaboration between Stradale Racing and Trans-Africa Racing with the Oyster Catcher Lamborghini out front of Jonathan Toit. But that Ravenol AMG, this time getting the better of the Liquimolli AMG of Damian Hammond for 3rd. Gianni Giannacora right on the tail of Jackson as he closes up now. There we see Blunden coming out of turn 2. And this is Jimbo Giannacora coming out of turn 1, also out of Bisc Racing Logistics and the G&H Transport stable. This time also behind Mark du Toit, who's found a way past in the Trans-Africa Racing GT1.
The classic GT3 for GT1 of Mark du Toit, putting some laps in, getting himself ready for King of the Hill here at Zwartkops Raceway in June, if I'm not mistaken.
Top of the hill in July, yeah.
Top of the hill in July.
So he's going to have to do some work in that car. I think it's just, as I said, it's preparation for that. We saw him at Passion for Speed getting that car ready, or actually at the final round of Extreme SuperCars at Zwartkops. Preparation for what we saw him do in the new class of Pre 06, where he fought it out amongst the Samlin Racing Lamborghinis. So certainly knows what to do in that car, and it's a competitive car. Take nothing away from it. It's not necessarily a classic car, or a historic car, I should say. It's a classic car, but maybe sort of a bit hard pressed to fight against the Lambos and AMGs at the front end.
Yeah, I think a retro mod is not really something that's gonna compete with our modern GT3 cars. The Liquimolli AMG of Damian Hammond not having the pace he had in the previous heat. He's sitting around on 1 minute 8. He was sitting in low 1 minutes in the previous race. The blue flag comes out for Ule Sane and his BMW Z4M. On board now, Damian Hammond. Can't quite see the cars in front of him as they head through turn number 1. That is what 2 seconds looks like, ladies and gents. It's only a 2 second gap, but you can see visually at the distance between the two as Ule Sane gets out of the way of our leaders, Jonathan Toit and Charl Arangies. Charl Arangies sitting a second off the back of Jonathan Toit. I wonder if maybe he's just not letting the car cool down, breathe a bit before he puts in another hard charge to close that gap. And maybe have a look at getting the win away from Jonathan Toit here in race number 2. 3 races for these guys today. They'll have a third one just after the lunch break.
Yeah, with two and a half laps to go now for these guys. We'll make that two corners and 2 laps to go. Good possibility that we may see a change up here between Charl Arangies and Jonathan du Toit. Remember, they fought it out literally down to the wire for the championship last year, so Arangies will certainly be looking to try and outgun the number 1 this time. Ricky Jonakara has caught the back end of Corrie Hill as well, so some good maneuvering there from Ricks to make his way through from the back of the pack up into what is going to be a sort of possibility of a top 6 or top 5 maybe, depending on where Gianni and Marius Jackson end up. Jackson at this stage fending off the attack from GG just up the road there for 4th and 5th place.
Yeah, it's a bit of a loudy battle because behind that it looks like it was full send on the inside of turn 2. It was late. It looked like it was seen though by the MJR Audi in front of him, Marius Jackson, just opening the door to ensure that there was no contact. But Gianni Giancarlo putting the pressure on hard with 2 laps left to go. Just behind that, Corrie Hill having to defend from Ricardo Giancarlo. So it's a battle of the loudies here in the Extreme SuperCar class with only 2 laps left to go.
Janakaros are going at it, yeah, that's for sure. All fighting for honours and fighting for slightly higher positions in their own rights in each of their categories. So it's a Class A battle here between Gianni and Marius Jackson. Jackson looking for his first victory in Class A. This will be the first time that we see Marius Jackson take an overall win in Class A over the Janakara boys. If Gianni doesn't do anything about it, look at this. Dives up the inside. Oh, there's attack. There we go. A little tap there between Gianni Janakara and Jackson. That's going to spin MJR car out. Oh, Marius won't be happy about that. I think he had the line there. Gianni might be in a bit of trouble, but that's, of course, not for us to decide. And he's going to next door for breaking out as well. So Gianni could be in trouble twice here with the COC because of that breakout time that he's already put in to get up into what is now 4th place behind Damian Hammond.
Well, the walls are thin between our office and theirs, so hopefully we can give you a bit of feedback. Oh, late to the brakes goes Charl Arangies, trying to get close for the final 2 corners here in heat number 2. But it looks like it's going to go all the way to Jonathan Toit unless that Mercedes AMG has got a set of brakes in it that can close up more than 3 car lengths. Down into the final corner they go. It's going to be Jonathan Toit that leads us out. And it looks like it's going to be Jonathan Toit that takes the win in race 2 ahead of Charl Arangies. Damian Hammond is going to come home a distant and quite lonely 3rd place. But it's all about the Class A battle behind. It is Gianni Giancarlo who's managed to get himself past Marius Jackson, albeit with a little bit of controversy. He's gotten himself past. He's going to take the flag here as Class A winner on the track.
Yeah,
Corrie Hill,
that penalty for breaking out and possibly for taking out. Breakout and takeout is what we got here now. This one for Janakaro. We'll have to bring that one up maybe in the prize giving later on. Gianni Janakaro for the breakout and takeout move.
Are you advertising for skincare products and KFC at the same time?
I don't even know.
Breakout, takeout.
Exactly. If you break out, you got to get some takeouts. So GD3s, 1, 2, 3. It's the toy from